So the one you've been waiting for, broskies, the Air Max 90 Gore-Tex infrared. Let's go. So as you can tell from my last video, the house is still a mess. The studio isn't up and running and things were pushed back like the 100th time I've been saying it, my hairline. But of course, we had to bring this review for you guys because for me, I haven't been this excited about an Air Max 90 possibly since the Air Max 90 Bacon, like 2 years ago? Was it 3 years ago now? Wow, time flies. But anyways, broskies, the Air Max 90 Gore-Tex, I've got a lot of questions from you guys regarding this shoe compared to the retro 2020 version. I've got the answers. A couple things I do really like and a couple things that not everyone is going to experience, but a couple things that I don't really like with my specific pair. And it won't be a shock to you guys. So let's get into it. Now let's start off with the box, I guess like we always do. And this is one of the things I didn't actually like that they gave. Now, yes, I know technically it's a GR and I didn't really think they'd give us something really special, but something like a blacked out box, that would have been nice. And the only thing really worth talking about other than the product sticker is the little Gore-Tex sticker towards the side of that. Now the product sticker does say though, Air Max 90 Gore-Tex, and the official colorway is Summit White and Cool Grey. I don't know why they don't call it infrared, because we know that they know that we know it is the infrared, but I don't know. Now there is a Gore-Tex hang tag that does come with the shoe, but of course you don't really wear this because it's attached with plastic. But yeah, it's just to signify that it is a Gore-Tex collaboration with Nike. And we've seen it time and time again with the other Air Max 90 Gore-Tex and the Air Force Ones as well. Now the thing that I am most mad at when it comes to this shoe, and it's only my pair that I've seen, I mean some people might not experience this at all, but my specific pair, the left shoe in particular, it looks so damn dirty. And I've tried time and time again to sort of brush out the dirt, but it's just not happening. Now this is definitely more of a me problem than it will be a you problem if you do choose to get this shoe. But as soon as I pulled these out of the box, I was not happy, bruh. I'll tell you that. But look, it is what it is. It might be a case of me sending these back and getting a new pair. But after that, I'm kind of feeling like these will get dirty anyway. And especially because it's a Gore-Tex collaboration, you'd think it would be more resistant to dirt. But broskies, it doesn't look like the case. So just beware. Now in terms of sizing, with this Gore-Tex collaboration, it is pretty much a true to size. Now bear in mind, compared to the 2020 retro, for example, these do fit a little bit more snug, but there's nothing to worry about. So whatever Air Max 90 you do normally go with, I just stick to that. Now a few of you have actually pointed out though that this is a more of a boxier look to the Air Max 90. It's not like the 2020 retro or even the recross that we had. It's definitely more of a boxier look. And personally, I'm not too mad at it. I mean, not every Air Max 90 is going to look the same. Yes, the recross do have a better and OG look and feel to it, but I mean, you can't get it all. They definitely had to make some sacrifices when giving us some Gore-Tex technology. Now, unfortunately, 95% of my shoes at the minute are in storage or somewhere that I can't actually see them. And it would have been nice to sort of do a comparison with this to the 2020 retro, but you know, it might come at a later date. Who knows? Now, other than that QC issue that I did have, or that dirt issue, whatever you want to call it, the materials that Nike and Gore-Tex used in this pair were actually very nice. I mean, that premium leather to that black mudguard, for example, honestly, I was very surprised. Now, the great parts of the shoe, comparing it to say the 2020 retro, again, they've swapped out that suede material for this synthetic leather, it looks like. And the whole point to this shoe, of course, was making it more waterproof, so they had to change it. Now, another change they did make, and I know a lot of people didn't really like it, is changing that Air Max symbol on that TPU panel to Gore-Tex. Now, another thing I'm not mad at, I'm actually kind of glad they did it, just because it separates this shoe from the retro. And if you're paying the £165 at retail, you do want something different. Now, the toe box, other than getting dirty super easily, it is very water resistant. But just be careful, broskies. I know these are more waterproof than your average Air Max 90, but they still can get dirty. But moving on to the tongue, again, we have that similar material that we do have to the toe box, which is sort of that rough nylon textile material, which I guess is way more waterproof than your average cotton tongue. Now, talking about the waterproofing to this shoe, it's not totally waterproof, so please do be careful. It has like a lining midway through the tongue that has like that seal that stops. So anything above that, water can definitely get in. But you know the score by now. If you're used to Gore-Tex sneakers, then you know the deal. Not totally waterproof all the way up to the ankle collar, but definitely enough to get by. Now, one thing they did change, which is one of the most iconic things about an Air Max 90, is that tongue tab. They've actually changed that Nike Air to Gore-Tex. Now, the sock liner is kind of in two halves here. The upper part of it, of course, is in cotton, in that sort of grey. But underneath it though, going all the way inside of the shoe, is that Gore-Tex lining. Now, the insole is of course in black with the white Nike Air branding, and there's nothing special about this. There's no waterproofing to it, it's just a standard insole. Now, towards the back though, and this is one of the things I'm very grateful they didn't change, it is the Nike Air tab in that infrared and black. I think a lot of people would have been put off by it if this part did change to Gore-Tex. But as we move on to the midsole, a very classic design to the Air Max 90. Personally for me, one of the best midsoles ever created. Now, the outsole is kind of different, I guess, in terms of color, but when it comes to the actual waffle design, they haven't changed it. Now, when I look back at, say, the Air Max 90 Surplus, they actually changed the outsole to make it more grippy and more weatherproof. But here, it doesn't look like it's the case. They've just given us that cool strip of red going down the middle. Right, broskies, of course, we are doing the waterproof test to the Air Max 90 Gore-Tex. Let me tuck these laces in. But yeah, I'm gonna sort of tissue it up all the way just to show you. Obviously, got my sink here. And yeah, let's go for it. Let's just put some water on. The water just sort of trickled off it, which is so cool. Look. So cool, so cool. But yeah, look, you can see it just sort of trickled off. And that's it, yeah. Pretty cool. So I'm putting it all the way on the sort of toe box area, which is obviously below the line, which I meant with the lining of the tongue. And let's see, so look, that's all wet. That's just literally falling off like a lamb shank on a roast dinner. And let's take out the tissue. So that's dry. And I'm hoping this is dry. Yeah, see, look, all dry. Perfect. So that works as most Gore-Tex sneakers do. All right, it's a bit wet now because I've just touched it, but yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is wet it up to here, all across the shoe, and show you what I mean. Yeah, around the back. I've watered it across that line just to show you what I mean. You see, water does get in if it goes across this line. Okay, so just keep that in mind, broskies, because they're not totally waterproof. Wow, look at that. All that water that's gone in there. Yeah, they're not totally waterproof, but they're very good. They're weatherproof, I'd say, more than anything. So just bear that in mind. Right, broskies, I mean, a lot of this sneaker is true to the OG and even the retro, so I can't be too mad at it. But what do you think, broskies? Are these a buy or a buy? Now, this sneaker's actually divided a lot of people. A lot of people like it because it is the infrared 90, but then some people don't like the changes that they made. Now, even though I'm a fanboy to the Air Max 90, especially the infrared being my favorite shoe and all, I've still got a soft spot for this. I mean, it all comes down to what you want to wear them for, and of course where you live and all of that sort of jazz. If it rains a lot where you are, then you could easily wear these and you wouldn't feel no rain at all. But just be mindful, like I said, these aren't totally waterproof. There's like a seal on the tongue that stops that waterproofing in the shoe. Now, the only thing, like I have said already, the dirt, the whole dirt thing on this shoe is gonna really cheese me off. Now, of course, you're gonna be wearing these out or want to wear them anyway. So getting these in the classic infrared colorway, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, the colorway is OG. It's one of the best ones ever made. But I mean, you're likely gonna get these dirty. But that's kind of the whole point of getting a Gore-Tex sneaker. You want the dirt resistance and of course the waterproofing. But you know, it is what it is. I don't know what to make of it. I'm a bit cheesed off, especially with my pair. But of course, there might be some workarounds, like maybe getting a dirt spray. That might help the case. But I mean, spending this much on a sneaker with the Gore-Tex materials, you kind of expect it to be built in, you know? But on a positive note, in terms of the feel on foot, honestly one of the most comfiest Air Max 90s I've ever worn. I feel like nowadays the average Air Max 90 isn't as comfortable as it used to be, or from what I remember anyway. Looking back at the 2020 retro and even the recrafts, I can't really wear them all day like I used to. Now I don't know if it's because I put on some weight, but honestly that's something I've noticed. This sneaker though, I think the midsole might be slightly thicker and it's a lot more stiffer on foot in a good way. It's a lot more supportive. The arch support is a lot better, I've noticed. But I can't fault this sneaker at all. I mean, apart from the price, yes, it is pricey, but if you can get these on sale or even a cheeky discount, then you're pretty much laughing because you can wear these literally no matter what. But anyways, the Air Max 90 Gore-Tex Infrared is, in my opinion, an absolute buy. But of course, as always, let me know down below what you think. Is this one on your radar or is this an absolute miss? Comment down below and I will pin the best comment. Broskis, I just want to say a big thank you for all the support on my last video, all the comments, the messages, and all the patience you guys have shown me. 2024, trust me, is going to be the year of the Broskis, and there's going to be a lot more content coming. Hopefully, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we shall be moving in and I'll be getting myself a bit more settled. I'll be able to set up a little corner in the house somewhere to record whilst the studio is still getting set up. But of course, this review had to make it. One of the most iconic colorways in one of the most iconic shoes, and a little twist to it. Whether you like it or not, I'm a big fan. And yeah, hope Nike do more of this sort of stuff. But until the next episode, take care.